Hi there everyone, it's me, the Romanian Regent, and today we are going to be playing something that one of my commenters suggested in one of my first videos ever, specifically in TNO. And I have found his comment over here by Comrade Cthulhu. I'll put his icon on screen together with the comment, and he suggested that I should play Shepunov's path for Chita in TNO. I searched for a few minutes, where is Chita on the map? I can't see Chita, and I was like, oh, if I go into the game, they were named Vyatka to the Transbaikal Principality for some reason. And, well, let's see how fun this path is. So yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Comrade Cthulhu. Is that how I mentioned it? Cthulhu. Yeah. Or did you want to write Comrade Cthulhu? We'll see. Anyway, let's continue. And today we will play as, well, what was once Chita, now the Transbaikal Principality. And if you could only see the setup that I currently have right now. So I have three books stacked on each other, leaning practically against my laptop, with the microphone inclined on it in order to really capture my voice. I have one headphone connected to the laptop so that I can hear the sounds in-game without it appearing on the microphone, so the recording sounds well. And I also have the wire of the microphone that is running on my lap together with the headphones to connect around the table to the laptop. So it's like a bit of a messy setup. Ooh, nice intro, I saw that. Tsunami Bog, Destiny lies ahead. Okay. Let's see what lore we have. During the height of the Civil War, Ataman Grigory Semenov rallied the Transbaikal Cossack host and fought alongside Alexander Kolchak, provisional government in the Russian Far East. After several years of brutal guerrilla warfare, however, Ataman Semenov was eventually defeated and forced to flee the country with his army in tow. The Ataman, along with thousands of other Russian emigres, fleeing the Bolshevik regime, settled in Manchuria, in the Manchurian city of Harbin. Okay, so Harbin is over here, it's this city over here in Manchuria, right? Here the remnants of the White Army plotted and prepared for the eventual day they would triumphantly cross the Amur and continue the fight against communism once again. As years went on, their dreams seemed to slip further out of reach, but with the miraculous collapse of the Soviet Union, the change finally came. I mean, you know, whether things in life are bad or good, it's pretty much always a matter of perspective. Like, is the collapse of the Soviet Union and the deaths and enslavement of tens of millions of people really a bad thing if you get to reclaim your country for communism? Depending on how you look at it. Now the White Army and the Transbaikal Cossack host find themselves in their old stronghold of Chita, while the state is ruled by Mikhail II, also known as Mikhail Andreevich Romanov. Wait, is he actually a Romanov? Invited to Harbin under the pretense of a formal banquet, he instead found himself roped into a daring scheme by the old wise to place a Romanov on the throne of Russia, despite his lack of claim. Oh, so... yeah, that's funny. So Mikhail II is nothing more than a puppet, and Semenov and his second-in-command, Boris Shepunov, holding the true reins of power. Despite being the new face of the white movement, he has little desire to remain in Russia and wish to go home again. From this frozen stronghold, they seem to continue the conflict that began so long ago and restore the long-lost monarchy. The Ataman grows old, and it is unclear what kind of direction his movement would take in his absence. Tsunami Bog, Destiny lies ahead. I like this picture. It's really nice. Signal lost, okay. One party state religion, trade unions illegal. Yeah, we're not really that democratic. We conscript like 5% of our population, not that bad, really. Unlimited work hours, Jesus Christ, that's cruel. Alright, let's see, what do you have? The true heir of Harbin. When the Bolsheviks overthrew Alexander Kerensky's unlawful government in the October Revolution, they threw Russia into chaos. In Manchuria, we formed both a government in exile as well as an unlikely but necessary alliance with the Russian Fascist Party. And when the Soviet Union collapsed, we seized the chance and with Tsar Mikhail II moved to take our rightful place. But the fascists betrayed us, stopping our advance and splitting our territory in two. We will defeat them and prove that we are clearly the true heirs of Harbin. Yeah, 3 research. You know what? For being in Siberia, 3 research slots really is not that bad, honestly. Right, let's see what we can do. We need to catch up on technology, so... You know what's sad? The fact that Equestria at war has an actually more, like, I wouldn't say better, but a more complex technological tree is really saying something. Like, the sheer amount of work that went into the Equestria at war mod is simply ridiculous. Anyway, I don't think I should be talking about that right now. I think I should be focusing on, you know, trying to restore Russia. Right. Let's try getting some basic artillery. Yeah, that sounds nice. Oh, that's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. Like 8 production units. That's just awesome, honestly. Let's get this train rolling. We have, let's say, 3 divisions. Right. What kind of divisions are they? Pretty terrible ones. They're 12 with infantry. Oh god, I'm already getting PTSD to fighting in Siberia. Believe me, it's not fun. It really is not. So, Mikhail II was called to a meeting in the Grand Royal Palace, which is a pretty extravagant name for the modest residential building that it really was. And as the old and newer generals and recruits expressed their opinions on the current state of the country, Mikhail couldn't stop to think about his old life and wife he had left behind in Australia. Although as he walked through the streets of the relatively safe city of Chita, he felt some kind of pride in being the figurehead of this island of stability in an anarchic Siberia. One cannot simply deny the truth. We don't even have trucks to motorize our supply. That's how terrible it is. Oh Jesus. Let me tell you something. If you ever play a Russian warlord, first look at these 2 over here. Production units, these are your factories, and grid power, this is your energy. If you don't have a grid power equal or greater than the number of units, that means that because of that I only have 3 factories and only 2 because of 1 is allocated to consumer goods. So the earliest you can reconnect Soviet power grid, that's plus 2 or 3 energy. That is literally going to double or triple your industrial output. Get that as soon as damn possible. Believe me, you will thank me once you have more than 1 factory. God, this is so horrible. Some people don't like the UI, but I honestly enjoy it. And there goes the missile crisis. Thankfully the world didn't get blown up. Oh, we absolutely suck. Absolutely. Not even a question about it. Support equipment, yeah, we need motorized, sure. It feels good to be back to Siberia. Actually, I'm lying, it doesn't. Get me the hell out of here, please. Look at the good part. At least we are not getting bombed like the other guys are. We are out of the range of the German bombers at least. That is a good step. From a distance, Ivan Mikhailov observed as people hurried about the place to place the market. He could hear the indistinct chatter of the crowd. Yes, this was where he ruled. This was his domain. Though currently, but not entirely. More and more, they overruled his decisions and took over his portfolio. Somebody needed to put a stop to their control over the government, and Mikhail knew exactly who that somebody would be. Himself, of course. If he couldn't convince Semenov to loosen his grip, then he might have to resort to more drastic measures. Some freedom would do to the people of Chita good, just as he did the army. No matter, he just had to try and try again, and eventually he'd show them all, no matter how many times he had to start over. I like his sheer determination. Yeah, and the Germans landed on the moon. Another conquest for the Reich. Although don't you celebrate that, you old fuck, you'll die pretty soon. So, how do we direct the budget? To the recommendation of Tsar Mikhail, we will fund the so-called loyalists. Add civilian-leaning budget. Right. We will first focus on the Tsar's investment. Import industrial equipment, reopen our factories, fully exploit our rich resource deposits, improve our infrastructure and reform our laws, and move to ratify the Reclamation Act. A surplus budget allocation. Sure, we will favor the civilian sector. But I need some political power, please. Boris Shepunov contemplated all the change that would soon come. There were countless internal troubles too. A pathetic Tsar, unending unrest and a seemingly eternal lack of funds. On top of that, he was already figuring that Semenov was 1 foot in the grave. It was becoming a real mess of problems. However, he would resolve it even in the unlikely event that meant facing the Tsar himself. Once the dominance of the White Army was assured, then he would strike down the twin evils of fascism and Bolshevism. This time he would make sure they stayed dead. As they lay dying before him, he would finally smile. The bless and cursing of TNO is the sheer number of events and lore. If you're a fan of reading, then this mod is absolutely a must for you. If you're not though, then maybe not. Maybe just play through without reading the lore. An ultimatum? Yeah, from who exactly? Yakutsia. Yakutsia to the north? Alright, so what you do is that you move this event over here, you move your army to the north, railway them to the front. Oh, this is it. If I get these Siberian resources, that adds +2 power to the grid. That will allow me to actually have more factory. And the Yakutians are trying to attack me, but it is across a river, so I'm going to hold. There you go, we got political power and some guns, which in Siberia is pretty useful. And now we have an impressive 5 whole divisions. I know, really impressive. This is peak TNO. I was just going a couple of days and I already got 2 events. And as I said, reconnect the Soviet power grid. We need that to actually, use our factories. And there we go, now we actually have 6 factories. And he is writing to his father back in Australia. He will either feel really sorry for him or think that he is an absolute madman talking about being some king in some random city in Siberia named Chita. Signed, Mikhail. Or Michael. Yeah, I'm kind of going into severe debt right now. I don't know if you can hear this right now, but my computer sounds like a damn rocket that is about to launch into space. Oh, and we are increasing the income tax even further. Ooh, that's rough. Manchurian industrial aid? I mean, Manchuria probably has some industrial experts it could lend us, considering that we have none. Oh, the fascist scum really try to threaten us with raids? No. And our brave soldiers, of course, managed to repel the fascist scum from our lands. Oh, and Grigory Samyonov has died. So there goes the Cossack host of the military junta. He defended his motherland until his last moment. Truly a man to admire. And Shepunov took his spot as head of government. Nice. And now, after reinvigorating our nation's industry, infrastructure, and in resource extraction, we shall get the Reclamation Act. Our small enclave has many things: an ever-dedicated officer corps, the best troops that can be conscripted, and factories that belch out refined industrial goods day in and out. What we're lacking, however, is usable arable land. Sadly, apart from the city of Chita and a few other mentionable towns and villages, most of the land that is controlled by the Emperor of all Russia and his administration is completely unusable, to be honest. Vast tracts of marshes and forests so thick that a man could barely pass through the tree. After a wise suggestion whispered into the ear of the Tsar himself, Mikhail II has declared the implementation of the Reclamation Act, a law that puts the Imperial Development Company in charge of clearing unusable land to transform it into tracts of earth that could be used for anything from low-yield farming to training grounds for our troops. Anything's better than the squalid backwaters that the IDC has been tasked with clearing. Oh, and it seems like he can't really get a reply from his father, whether it be that his messages are blocked or that his father is too disappointed in his son. I desperately want to leave, but I cannot. I am kept under house arrest in all but name, a glorified pet to these relics. I beg of you, if you cannot show pity, at least tell me what I could do to try and pull something positive out of this pit I find myself in. Signed, Michael. Reclaiming the wilderness. No land is safe from the march of progress. Now we will focus on modernizing and equipping our army and importing arms and expertise from the Japanese. Sure, organize a raid against the Presidium of the Supreme Soviet. And we are assembling the Tsar's finest troops with 200 soft attack. And some support and tire on top of that. There you go. And we have the Far East's finest troops. Our military is Siberian, and very few of our soldiers and young officers have spent times west of the Urals. But this is a strength. If they can survive and thrive here, of all places, they can do so anywhere. If we incorporate their knowledge and values into our standard training, we can transform our collection of conscripts, emigres and vagrants into the Far East's finest, a disciplined force seemingly invulnerable to the cold and capable of remaining organized in even the worst of weather. The Tsar wouldn't want it any other way, we are sure of it. Now we shall focus on reinforcing our western and eastern borders with the tyrant in Irkutsk, Genrik Yagoda, and the fascist scum in Amur, under Konstantin Rodajevsky. Oh, and yep, the Japanese sphere is crashing into the ground and burning. Uh-oh, somebody is trying to attack. Alright, so, yeah, this guy in Irkutsk is going to attack us, so yeah, probably should deploy our army. In terms of land doctrine, we don't really have any resources to afford anything more than infantry, so combined operations, I guess, and artillery. Boris Shepunov, you will lead our army, and I will also use less stands just in case. And I will move my troops around a bit to be ready to be used. And they declared war on me. Irkutsk declared war on me. They are not attacking, so that is a promising sign. Alright, let's try and go for encirclement. You know, I just convert this motorized to infantry, because infantry does way better in Siberia. And we complete our eastern defense scheme. Amazar. Oh no. Oh, I despise the bastard that suggested I play as a Chita. You said this just because they were gonna get destroyed by Irkutsk and Amur, didn't you? That's why you suggested I do this, didn't you, bastard? Oh, I hate you. I hate you with a burning passion right now. Yeah, that'll be a reload, just to figure out how the hell to hold. Just a moment. I had to reload, and this time I was actually able to get to this final focus and doing all of my fortifications, and for some reason Amur or Irkutsk didn't declare on me yet. But they probably will, don't you worry about that. The good thing is that both of them have nearly zero manpower. That means that if I can make them suffer just a few casualties, I can drain them of all of their manpower, hopefully, maybe. I have my Grand 9 divisions ready to be deployed at any time. Yeah, we're not doing great over here in Chita, but I believe we can do this. I believe. Now we will make our play. And every single month we gain 48 manpower. Yes, that's real. Oh my god. This time we are only 50% into debt. We can go up to 140%. Hey, we have improved already. War on the horizon. The Smuta decision category will be enabled for us to finally use. Chaos, supplies, and Amur is going to be busy fighting with Magadan for quite a while, to be honest. That means that our best option is probably trying to fight Irkutsk. Yes, we have to attack Irkutsk. I have my 300 soft attack divisions over here ready to attack, and I hope I will be able to hold. Now it is time. Deploy our divisions. We have 9 divisions. That is amazing. We have worked on getting our logistics in order, and now we have enough trucks and trains for everything needed. We shall move into the empty tiles. Oh, this seems so unwinnable. And yet, there must be a way. Amen, amen. It's difficult, but I have to continue trying again and again. Oh my god, I actually did it! I just took some random tiles in the countryside, and that was enough to push Irkutsk over the limit. Now we won. Oh my god, I can't believe we actually did it. We actually did it. From here it should be much better. Right, calm down. Yeah, our Tsar doesn't know Russian, he doesn't understand what the hell the people are saying, so perhaps it would be best to keep him out of the public's view for a while. Divine mandate of Siberia, what? Bro! Leave me the hell alone! Why me? Whatever. The free mandate of Siberia has conquered the all-Russian government of Amur. I'm sorry, what? Really? Magadan took our victory from under our noses? Ho 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 ho. No, you're gonna pay for that. You know what? Move our army to the north. Are you actually serious? Magadan took everything of that. You must be joking. You are so funny, game. You are actually so funny. I swear. You know what? You know what? You know what? Just get my divisions back home and let's kill Magadan. Why not? Why don't we do that? God, we did it. I cannot believe it, but we did it. And it looks like Tomsk is going to unify Central Siberia. We have the Ural military district in charge of this place. Okay, I see you. And yeah, West Russia is still a mess. But now we can just relax for a while. We have to get our debts down, and so we will disband this army. And look at that. And look at that, we have one ship. That's a good start to something. Now we can integrate all of these territories, and we can reunify the Far Eastern Imperial Realm. Chita unites the Russian Far East, and we finally have a decent GDP. Finally. Now we have a lot of focuses to do until like 1969, which is not a joke. We have to wait 5 years. 5 damn years. It's wonderful, believe me. Do we want to improve our relations with the Japanese? They are crucial to our development, but if we become too dependent on them, we might just become another Manchuria. What's this? The Sakha expedition. We gain control of Evenk and Olenek. Where is that? Oh, we get control of these northern parts of Siberia that have like 35,000 population. I mean, it's better than nothing. That's an extra 100,000 people now. Wait, and we are a member of the co-prosperity sphere? I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to it, I'm just like, okay, that is weird. Let's begin the Sakha expedition. I'm saying that like you should know what the hell that means. Let's send them more infantry equipment, they'll probably need it. And let's complete the Magadan and... oh my god, what is that? Blagoveshchensk railway hub. Wait, I'm sorry, what was that? George Wallace is in charge of the United States. Blacks and Hispanics and whoever who is not white, I'm sorry, you're fucked if you live in America. Well, more than before. A hope beyond Japan. The Japanese are the safe bet in terms of international recognition, but by no means are they the only power whose recognition that we see. Our economy is showing signs of proper activity for the first time in years, and has become almost completely self-sustaining. Factories across the region, once deemed as an inhospitable of frozen hell, hard at work. Their workers laboring tirelessly to ensure the prosperity of the empire. Thanks to our modernization efforts, their productivity has reached foreseen levels. Against all odds, the Russian Far East has finally risen from its cold, dead, deep slumber, rejuvenated beyond our wildest dreams with newfound wealth and prosperity. The white movement has never been in a stronger position. Mobilize every single man possible to the front line. We need each and every single one of them. $13 billion over here, 13 billion also over here, and in the west we have 12 billion. You know what, considering my starting position, I think I did really well. Considering that I had less than 3 billion in 1965 when I reunited all this stuff, I think I did really well. So my suggestion, even if debt looks scary, just spend to improve your nation. That's just what it is. You'll have to invest to grow your economy to be able to even support a big army, so might as well do it. Wait. One day we will be able to produce aircraft of our own, and when that day comes, we will need cutting-edge design. Buddy, I'm sorry to tell you, but you might have all the information, because I probably have more airplanes combined than all of the other warlords. Yes, I do. I have more airplanes combined than all of the other warlords in Russia. I think your information might be a bit outdated. England and Scotland are going to war. You bastard. England defeats Scotland. How sad. Bugger off, Britain, with your super van. Oh, I think... we will wipe the floor with the Commonwealth of Siberia. We will wipe the floor with them. They're done for. I'm gonna destroy them. Man, that Solverein is actually really massive. Since it's the 1st of January 1969, I swear to God, if I see you laughing in the comments, I'm gonna murder you. We can prepare for the war. A grand showdown. Establish fortifications, survey our positions, develop the Siberian railway, infiltrate the enemy, raise additional troops, and yep, It is coming. Netzram is online, eh? Germany is doing quite well, I would say. They were lucky they got Speer. Second inauguration of US President George Wallace. Dixieland makes its stand. Oh, America, you're screwed. Our Air Force is ready for command. How do we have a surplus of manpower? That is incredible, honest. War on the horizon? Sure it is. We will slaughter them. We will absolutely destroy them. I cannot believe this went way better than I'm in a way better position to deal with the Siberian Commonwealth. Ooh, Germany deployed missiles. I think Mauritius is over here. Yes, it is here. You can take a decision to do that. It increases the tension though. They declared war on us. I didn't expect that, but okay. Let's get our airplanes going, and we absolutely stomp them. Yeah, they won't even try to push us. I think this will make a really nice time lapse though. We absolutely wiped the floor with the Commonwealth of Siberia. Like, it was 1-5 losses. I first destroyed their army and then just sent my army group south to just go and capture everything. I didn't lose anything. Was that actually it? Was that the war? Well, that was pretty anticlimactic, wasn't it? And we unify Siberia, the Siberian Empire, eh? I know most people will first go for this path, but it takes a longest time to get nukes, and so I'll go straight into the atomic age. Sure. Oh, open our door to America, get quota immigration. That's interesting. Sure. Man, that was too easy. Now just get rid of that army, because we won't need it for quite a long time. And look at it, our beautiful, beautiful tank division. The most important thing of all, nearly 100 armor. Oh, beautiful. Oh, a new interface for the nuclear program, eh? Theoretical development. Alright. Put in more money. Research speed. Oh, okay. Political power. Well, I don't really need political power, so I can invest more of that. Oh, okay, maybe not that much. Alright, that's okay. Ish. And how much money? I just have my auto clicker on. How much can I invest in? Yeah, maybe retract that a bit. I know I'm exploiting this interface by doing this, but I want nukes, please. I just want some nukes. I am literally pouring all of my resources into this nuclear into nuclear development. Yeah, you see this spike over here? That was me like a dumbass investing God knows how many billions of dollars instantly into the nuclear program. Don't do that. Yeah, and Burgundy is collapsing. Oh, no. Please don't cause a nuclear war. Please don't cause a nuclear war. I swear to Christ, don't cause a nuclear war. Do not cause a nuclear war. Anyway, we will concern ourselves with the Tsar's speech. Tsar Mikhail, his authority now cemented after the fall of Shepunov, has decided to take to the airwaves to announce a new era in the history of Russia. An era of freedom, prosperity, and individual liberty, where all Russians, rich or poor, educated or illiterate, will have the chance to live in harmony and peace. Of course, he doesn't know how to say this in Russian, but he will figure out a way. Oh, and thank Christ, the Burgundy's collapsed. Whew, the French state, eh? Will they get their territory back? We'll see. And Germany refuses. Go screw yourself, France. Each of these tank divisions has 20,000 manpower in it. Jesus. Democracy 101? Hey! Highly inclusive political parties, there you go. We shall placate the workers' worries and bring forth a new generation of industry. And depoliticize the army. And just gonna have a quick chat and a long call with the Americans. Gazprom? That's topical. Begin unification talks? That doesn't get me views. Prepare for the unification war, sucker. Oh, you want to actually negotiate? Absolutely not. Go to hell. Look at this. They are paternalistic conservatives. I am paternalism also. Hey, we're actually the same ideology basically. Paternalism. So yeah, we could have probably united peacefully, but I don't want that. Where's the fun in that? Where can I cannot, if I peacefully unify with them, I cannot see like how many other Russians I killed other than mine. How cute, he actually wanted to be diplomatic about this. We will strike Russia in 30 days. And they have declared war on us again? Really? Whatever. Ooh, and they are attacking us. Cute. Let's quickly take the supply hub over here. And let's see how well our tanks do in this environment. They cannot be pierced. They cannot be pierced. And we will take Omsk, I think? Yes, we took Omsk. Let's impose war taxes. And we had defeated West Russia. And we will integrate these territories. And with a click of a button, we will reunify the motherland. We will move the imperial capital, Vyatka, of course will become our capital. And at any time of our choosing, we will be able to invade the Reich. Shocking news comes from Russia today as an official announcement has been made by the Prime Minister of the so-called Emperor of Russia, Anatoly Sobchak, head of the civilian government of the newly restored empire, has made a declaration confirming that Tsar Mikhail II, who appeared alongside him during the declaration. Scattered evidence and fragmentary reports have led experts to piece together that Sobchak and his administration have their roots in the exiled white movement, originally based in Harbin. Mikhail's II legitimacy due to his parents' morganatic marriage notwithstanding. The Tsar has already made a number of public appearances even before Sobchak's announcement, promising a strong hand in dealing with Nazi Germany. Many celebrate the return of the Romanovs and the imperial system, while others scoff at Mikhail's parentage. However, only time will tell how this new administration will fare. God save the Tsar. But it is not over. It is not over. With Germany in chaos, we shall move to reclaim Kazakhstan. I want to integrate Kazakhstan. We need their manpower desperately. Unlike Novosibirsk, we don't get a focus tree, but we can still do stuff. I'm sorry, Nikolai, but we need Kazakhstan for ourselves. I'm sorry. Just close your eyes, it will be quick. What is this? We will gain debuffs or buffs depending on what generals we serve in the army. What does that mean, exactly? Oh, I have a navy? I'll be completely honest with you. Even though having an Imperial Russian Navy sounds fine, there's no way we could ever hope to build up to Germany. And we need that money desperately to be invested well in the army. So we unfortunately will have to disband it. It is unfortunate, but it has to be done. And we annex Kazakhstan. Integrate Kazakhstan, yes. We'll launch an intervention into Central Asia. Let's negotiate for Vladivostok. Approaching the sphere. All of this post-unification content is thanks to, again, Brave New World. We will lease the port of Magadan, seek American support, meet with the Japanese, boost investments, support Russian partisans. Yeah, we don't have 40 ships, like what the hell? Who has? Let the negotiations begin. And Japan accepts. We will gain acquisition of this province after the negotiations are over. Japan agrees to return Vladivostok, Treaty of Beijing. Hey, and we got this back. You're damn right we're gonna integrate it. A wrong righted. Man, that was actually... How many people were in Outer Manchuria? 1 million... Like a lot anyway, like... Jesus, that was good. Oh, and the World Trade Center is now opened in New York. I hope absolutely nothing wrong happens to it. Wink wink. Yeah, let's build ourselves a radar station. That'll probably be pretty useful. Oh, and it looks like Albert Speer has actually succeeded fully. That might be a problem for us. Let's cut back on civilian spending and start pumping out some divisions. 29 divisions, that is a good start. I'm just working on building up my radar stations and my air bases to actually be able to use all of these thousands of airplanes. My fighters have insane range. Like, let me actually check right now. How much range do my fighters have? A range of 3,000 kilometers. Just a bit. The Russian Empire declares war on Germany. It seems like the echoes of the Great War have finally caught up to the German Reich as Russian soldiers and tanks stream across the border in one last battle for all of Holy Russia. Broadcasting from His Majesty's Imperial Palace in Chita, the Tsar has proclaimed the start of the Great Crusade against the German menace, promising to restore the Russian Empire to its former glory and redeem its failures that had led to the Bolshevik Revolution and a subsequent defeat in Operation Barbarossa so long ago. Some international observers have expressed doubts regarding the newly unified Tsardom's capability to stand up to the German giant so soon, while others praise the Emperor's dedication in redeeming itself in the face of such a monumental threat to the Russian people. As the twin giants clash for the fate of Europe once more, one thing is clear: either Russia will be ruined by a Tsar, or there will be no or there will be no Russia. Can the empire avenge its failures? Riots erupting. Although unrest has always been for the master of Europe, with the collapse of front lines in a nascent war, violent protests have reached heights unseen since the death of Hitler. Be it Bonn or Breslau, liberals or anarchists, revolutionary movements have erupted in staggering numbers, with protesters even routing riot police in some cities. Germany has 2 divisions left. Jesus Christ. Maybe I went a bit overboard. I want to see what happens if I click this. Realistically, the game should punish me by nuking the world. Realistically. Yeah, perhaps that wasn't a good idea. Germany, as you can see. Oh god, game, please, for the love of Christ, don't crash. Please don't crash. Yep, and there it goes. Tour of Germania. Oh, what the hell are you talking about? You have nuked everything, you bastard. The German... Yeah, and a communication has arrived from our nemesis in Germania. The German Reich and all of its codependents have offered to unconditionally surrender to the forces of the Russian Empire. With this, we finally have the opportunity to avenge the defeats of Barbarossa and Suvorov, and the moment of the reclamation of all of our unlawfully annexed land has arisen at last. From Riga to Magadan and from Sevastopol to Murmansk, Russia is now unquestionably free and united. To reject this offer would certainly lead to an inevitable nuclear response, and it is I should have probably read this part. I just saw this and just decided to try it. I should have probably read that it would lead to an inevitable nuclear response, and it is unnecessary to push any further into the heart of the fascist cancer. This may be our last chance. The motherland returns to the world stage. Germany surrenders! To many, the outbreak of the Second West Russian War was a futile effort by the new Russian government, a campaign that was destined for failure from the moment of the war had been declared. Yet the world watches on in shock as a spokesman speaking on behalf of the Führer has announced that in the interest of saving the Reich from nuclear annihilation, the German government have decided to cede their eastern frontier to the rising Russian state. The international and domestic embarrassment of giving up their Lebensraum has sent shockwaves across the globe. On the streets of Germany, protests have erupted across the nation as the Wehrmacht prepares to declare martial law. The consequences of the Treaty of Riga will have major repercussions on the German Reich for many years to come. Years of humiliation finally over. The Wehrmacht putsch. The streets of Germany are filled with Wehrmacht patrols and tanks. Martial law is the order of the day, as the Reich Marshal Hans Spädel has seized control of the government. Following the Reich defeat in the Second Russian War, the National Socialist government was unable to effectively bring an end to the chaos. Infighting between Führer Speer and his own cabinet only exacerbated the matter, as bureaucrats' dysfunction and rumors of bloodless coups condemned Germany to rapid decline. While the Wehrmacht will undoubtedly prove more effective leaders than Speer, Speer's apolitical Führership is not necessarily a liberating force, and advocates of a free Germany may yet see their hopes dashed. In the new order, speeches stand no chance against tanks. Food shortages in German Reich? While many Germans have struggled to earn their daily bread since the economic wars of the 50s, the recent combination of strict rationing, foreign embargoes and the loss of Ukrainian wheat to Russian advances have created frighteningly extreme food shortages. The price of bread, milk and other basic necessities has more than tripled over the last week, and the prices are, Jesus Christ, are ready to continue to rise. All throughout the country, riots and protests have swelled with masses of starving citizens, looting anything of nutritional value. Jesus Christ. The Reich has once again denied any food shortages, attributing greed-ridden Untermensch to fifth columnist gluttony. Despite Germany's dismissal, however, it seems that the Reich is inching closer to annihilation with every passing day. The Reich greed made plain for all to see. Jesus Christ. That's bad. That's bad. Anyway, we will just quickly invade Armenia. And we annex Armenia just like that. Now into Finland. and we'll decide the fate of Viborg. Viborg belongs to us, and we immediately win. Hey, now it's time to move the Russian capital, a new Russian capital for the Russian Empire perhaps. Keep the capital in Vienna, the third Rome, the window to the west. I feel like King Michael would be a pretty reformist guy, wishing, you know, to give liberties to the people of Russia, and so he would probably choose the window to the west. But he would most likely choose to come back to his favorite city of Chita every once in a while, you know, just to visit it. Yeah, here it is. I feel like he would come back every once in a while just to visit Chita, to remind him of the good old days. Or not necessarily of the good old days, but of the days where he was just a simple puppet monarch in Chita, and how far he got. Man, and Germany really was screwed, like Jesus Christ. Wait, I'm curious of something. So if I look over here, I can see that Germany has a GDP per capita of $1,550. We have a GDP of $511. Oh. And if I go over here, where is it? GDP per capita. As you can see, there are some pretty wealthy regions, like, you know, Chita is like $2,400, pretty good. In some parts of the game, unfortunately, the GDP per capita kind of breaks, and for example, this random part of Siberia has like $7,000 per capita, which is wrong, but you know, what, it's probably pretty difficult to calculate that. And as you can see, the entire part that was under German occupation, yeah, $30, $53 per capita, like pretty terrible. Except for these eastern parts of Ukraine, these actually have an okay amount of GDP per capita. And Germania does have $3,000 per capita. Okay. Yeah, and there are a lot of map modes which you could just spend like 30 minutes just looking at because of how interesting it looks. New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Texas, these parts are most wealthy. Makes sense. Then Tokyo over here, the most developed part, nearly $5,000 per capita, with 17 million people. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of people in just that one little state. And as you can see, there's a lot of Volga Deutsch, or Volga Germans. You can also see this over here, I think. Yes, Ostdeutsch, that migrated to what were once colonies. So what I'm guessing is that Michael over here would, just like Sukshin, maybe deport these Volga Germans and Ost Germans or East Germans back to Germany. And I know, what do you do with these like Polish that just live in Central Asia? Do you put them in these provinces here in the east? Like, look, they have a bit of German over here. Do you just put them here? Maybe. Yeah, and as you can see, these are Baltendeutsch or Baltic Germans, of course. And it's really interesting looking at this cultural map mode of Russia. Like you see, you have these, you have like a few tribes over here that managed to survive somehow. And then you can just see where the Russians just went in like a century into Siberia all the way to the Pacific. Of course, there are a lot of Koreans and stuff here because of course because the Japanese had these parts for like 30 years under their control. And there's another thing I thought about. Germany really isn't in a position to be a superpower, like a true superpower. Because what do you need to be a superpower? Well, first you need a lot of population. Germany has like right now like 220, 50, somewhere like around that, 250 million, let's see. So it does have the population to be a superpower. We currently have 250 million. That's a good amount. Germany, I don't remember what was, also like 300 million, a bit less than. Does it have the industrial basis to be a superpower? Yes, it has a GDP of 250 billion, even bigger, double ours actually. Does it have the land, the resources to be a superpower? Not really. America is in such an OP position. You couldn't craft a more ridiculously overpowered nation. It doesn't have to spend a ridiculous amount of its resources on military because it's surrounded by the ocean. It just has to have a strong navy. It doesn't need to worry about its neighbors since they are basically just economic extensions of America. And Germany needs the East, especially the oil over here, to actually have the capability to be a superpower. Otherwise, it's at best a major power that is in a co-equal alliance with another superpower. That's interesting to think about. But not to wonder, for we have won. Just 15 years ago, we were just another warlord in Siberia, living in a city around Chita, with a monarch that just wished to leave. But with the aid of loyalist forces, loyal to treating our Russian people right and giving them the rights that they deserve, Mikhail II took control, and under his command, we first unified the Far East and made major investment in the Magadan ports to open up trade with Japan and the West, importing various weapons and technology to bring our nation up to par with the other superpowers. Then, we defeated the idealists in Tomsk that believe in some sort of utopian socialism. After that, the traitorous federalists tried to peacefully integrate with us, but our leader Michael saw straight through their lies, and in a successive measure of actions systematically destroyed the entire West Russian army, bringing their lands into our domain. After that, we unified Central Asia to bring these people rightfully where they deserve to be, in Russia. Then, the fascists come just a few years before, having to deal with a military invasion of Moscovian to bring down Schrödinger, and having to negotiate with a slave revolt, were left weak and unprepared for when the great imperial army launched. It numbered at nearly 2 million, and in the span of a year went all the way from the borders of Reichskommissariat Moscovian all the way to the borders of East Germany. Now the German Reich lays lobotomized. Its prior leader, Albert Speer, was taken out in a coup d'etat by Hans Speidel, trying to keep the nation from falling apart. But as we saw with the food crisis, it is only a matter of time before Germany inevitably collapses, and the Poles will once again be free and will never be lost again. Michael желает вам удачи и хорошего дня. Пока. Hey there, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I put quite a lot of work into these videos and I hope you enjoy. Bye.